welcome back to Colouring with Amy. Hope you are all well. It is the end of the month. Well, not really. It's the 1st of July when I'm recording this. I've had a busy month. I've had stuff going on at work. I got sick for 2 weeks. It's been my daughter's 10th birthday. So I haven't done as much colouring and I haven't been able to record as much. So I haven't been around. But I have got some colouring done. So yeah, I thought I'd share my completed pages with you. I'm just going to come back in a sec. I just need to do some stats back. So just run through the stats. I'm now at 1,951 subscribers. So that's an increase of 52 this month, which is about average for me, I think, having looked back. Yeah, I had a couple of good months where I got a few more. But welcome to everybody who's joined this month. Thank you for subscribing. I'm sorry, I've been a bit quiet this month. I did participate in 13 hashtags and I just did one video last month. So yeah, I'm just going to go on with showing you what they were. So I have got one whip, which I started at the weekend and I haven't progressed much further with. I'm just going to get rid of this big pile. It'll make it easier to show you. So I've got one whip in Kirby Roseanne's Imagimorphia. And it is the whale page. I did have this all sorted. Yeah, so it's this page. So far, I have based it in Inktense. And I'm quite liking the way, the kind of colour choices that I've gone for. And I think it's going to look quite different to this once it's actually finished and I've gone over the water and I've done what I needed to do. But yeah, that's what I've done so far. And that's Kirby Roseanne's Imagimorphia. Then, as we know, if you've been watching my channel since the beginning of the year, Erie is one of my focus artists for the year. So I decided to do one in Romantic Country, the first tale. And it was this beautiful page, Tea Room, Old Rose Tea Room. I'm just going to get my book out. Not sure I've actually written down this, but I'm sure I can remember. So I based pretty much most of it in with Derwent Inktense. Then I went over it with Black Widow pencils. There is some Arteza metallic watercolour on the wording here. I don't think I've used that anywhere else. There's lots of Posca pen in the field, so I tried to put some glaze of grass and some flowers, and I did the same with the grass in the tea room. I used a lot of Posca to block out the white lines. And then there's a bit of Pentel Jewel Hybrid on the duck, and the bow and the beak, a little bit on the teapots and things like that. There's elements of this I really like and there's elements of it I don't like. But I'm beginning to like how I'm colouring in Erie's books. And Derwent Inktense is definitely the way to go for me. So yeah, so this pink was like the flamingo pink from the Derwent Inktense, and it was so bright when I put it on. I was like, oh my god, I chose the wrong colour. But then I went over it with I kind of think it was mushroom or something from the Black Widow pencils, and that kind of just brought the pink down a bit, which I was quite happy with. So yeah, I do like the page. There's elements I'd do differently, I'm sure. I think I would do this green field a different colour. But yeah, I had fun. And it's come out quite nicely. So that is from Erie's Romantic Tale, first book. Then I realised I hadn't done anything in Midnight Masquerade for a little while by Hannah Carlson. Excuse me a sec. Sorry, I keep coughing, so I'm trying to do it off camera. So yeah, I did the sweet cart from Midnight Masquerade. And that was this one. Not sure if you're getting all the contrast on camera because my light's a bit white today. So I coloured this with Black Widow pencils. There's some Arteza metallic watercolour on these bits on the top, these sweets on the top, and in like the little yeah, you can just about pick that up on camera on the canopy. There's some Pentel Dual Hybrid, and I use chalk pastels in the background and then rub some circles out. So I quite like doing that. Yeah, that's about it. What I've noticed in this book is that the 3 pages I've done so far, the predominant colour is pink. So I have done this one, pink, this one, pink, and this one, pink. So I may have to just vary it up a little bit more in this book, but I did enjoy that, and that was a fun page to do. Then I did Gnome, Sweet Gnome by Teresa Goodrich, and I really enjoyed this page. I'll just have to find it first. It's one where he's in the hammock. Here it is. There we go, super cute. So this was coloured with Arteza Everblend alcohol markers, Arteza Expert pencils, Pentel Dual Hybrid metallic, that's on his hat, insides of the sunflowers, and then lots of acrylic paint pen to go around the outside of the sunflowers, outside of these leaves. I did a lavender field in the back. We have lavender fields here in Kent, and I just really enjoyed this page. I used Pentel Dual Hybrid around the border as well. I like the fact that I've not gone for my usual pinks and purples. There's lots of yellows. I like the blue and orange of the gnome, and it was just good fun, really good fun. And that went for a couple of hashtags. I think it was Gnomes all year long, Goodrich in 2024, and I think that was it. But yeah, had good fun with that one. Really, really fun. And it's quite a detailed page, actually. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So that was another one in Gnome Sweet Gnome. Then I did a page in, apparently, in Small Victories. Oh yes, Small Victories by Johanna Basford. Again, she's one of my featured artists for the year. So I try and do something in her books every month. So I did these 4 wreaths, and I coloured these with Polychromos pencils, Pentel Dual Hybrid, and some Posca paint pen. Well, it was probably acrylic pen. But I tried to do each wreath a different kind of colour combo, so blue, purple, oranges and yellows, pinks and purples in this one, and then kind of predominantly really pale pinks. And then I did kind of put a little bit of black in the background. And I quite like the way that turned out. I do wonder if I should have gone for a limited colour palette and done them all the same, but that's just not the way I colour, to be honest. But yeah, that was another white one. I'm trying to keep the backgrounds simple in this book. I haven't done any, if at all, put some washi tape on that one. But I've barely, when I have done, I've done a little bit of one in this one with the dots, but I'm trying to keep it really simple in this book because it's quite a small format, and I want the focus to be on the little images. So that was Small Victories, Johanna Basford. Then this one I'm really pleased with for this month. Again, Hannah Lynn. It's Hannah Lynn. Yeah, Hannah Lynn's another one of my featured artists for this year, and I'm really happy with this one. I did for the first time. I actually did a full skin in pencil, which I've been wanting to do for a little while, and I'm really pleased with the results. I followed a tutorial, which I think is My Colourful Country Life, where she's done some skin tutorials with Polychromos, and Polychromos is what I've got. And this would just worked amazingly well. And I also just saw this page as kind of quite monochromatic. So I just used one colour, or a variance on that colour, and that was purple, obviously. So I used Arteza Everblend alcohol markers to kind of base the hair, butterflies, everything else but the skin, I think. Then Arteza Expert for the shading. Then, yeah, Polychromos for the skin. You can see some of the pencil marks. I don't know if you can on camera. I can when I look at it this way. but it's just, I just love the way it's come out. It looks much better. I don't think it looks as good on camera, but it looks better in real life. And some Pentel Dual Hybrid in places, which I think is on these little fluffy things, a little bit on the butterfly, and I put some Winsor & Newton iridescent medium on the wings. But I really like the way that one turned out. Perhaps I'm thinking I might get another copy of this book and go through and do them all in kind of monochromatic colours. But I'm getting there with this book. It is beginning to fill up. So I'm really happy. Yeah, so that was from Hannah Lynn's Enchanted Faces. Oh, I could do with that somewhere else. Oh, in fact, I might use it for this. Then I did a page in Johanna Basford's Enchanted Forest, and I think this is probably my favourite page of the month. It was the fox page. Oh, I've already got one in there. It was this page. And this was done with Polychromos pencils. Yeah, that was it. Polychromos pencils and Distress ink, Stress Oxide for the background. I didn't need anything else. I absolutely love the way this turned out. Using Polychromos in her books is just a dream. They're so, I mean, you have to do lots of layers and you have to be patient to get the colour to come out. But I just love this. I love the way it turned out. And then the background just complements it really well. I think the background is like scattered straw, vintage photo and walnut stain. But yeah, absolutely love the way this turned out. And I'm probably going to do something similar to squirrel. So I might just do greys with the squirrel, maybe greys and blues with a similar kind of back. That's what I did with these two. So I did them with similar backgrounds. So I might do something similar with the squirrel. But yeah, that was Johanna Basford, Enchanted Forest. I love the way that one turned out. Then I did something from Balls of Fluff, Fluff Balls, Fur Balls, I don't know. Who's it by again? Diane Defoe. So there was a colour along. Lavella is hosting a colour along on Instagram. They pick a page each month and you can choose whether to do it. And it was the otter page this month. And it was one of the first things I did in the month. And that is mine. So what was I do this with? Ooh. I did this with Brute Free Squares, which I really like using in this book. Albic Drua watercolour pencils, which I think is for the background, which I don't know if you kind of a turquoisey blue. And then I used some Winsor & Newton ink just to do some paint spatters. And I did go round all of the leaves with like Pentel Dual Hybrid, but I'm not sure if that's really showing on camera. But yeah, I thought that was really, really cute. And I did kind of download or look up a reference picture for the way they should be coloured. But yeah, I really like the way that turned out. And I love using the Brute Free Squares in this book. So that was my version of that page from Fluff Balls, Balls of Fluff. Then I got a new book for my birthday, Matchstick Mouse, a big adventure colouring book. And I did an underwater page for my first page. It was this one. It was so cute. I love this little turtle. And I used Arteza alcohol markers to base pretty much everything, I think. Yep. Then I used Polychromos for shading, which I don't normally do, but I think I had them upstairs anyway. I used some stickles on the little bubbles, which I think you can just about see. It's just there. And some Pentel Dual Hybrids on this little shell here. Yeah, I think that's about it actually. And I think I went round the little circle with a Pentel Dual Hybrid as well. Make that more blue. But I love this turtle. The turtle is so cute. But yeah, had really good fun with that. I did my mouse the usual colour. I enjoyed kind of making this really colourful underneath. But yeah, that was my first one from a Matchstick Mouse, a big adventure colouring book. And I've just seen he's got a new one, Matchstick Mouse, a rainy day colouring book. So that's on my wish list to get. Then I realised I hadn't done anything from Kawaii Tarot colouring book for ages, and I'd seen J.I. Colorist doing a fair few, and I was quite inspired by that last month. So I thought, oh, I must get back into that one. So I did the Moon in this page. I think this was my first one for the month. I did the moon. I had real fun with this page. I used Black Widow pencils, which I really liked using. Posca pen, so I whited out the lines in the water. I used Stickles for to highlight the waves at the bottom. Excuse me. And then I used Arteza metallic watercolour. So the moon is like a pinky white. I think you can maybe just be able to catch that in the light. And then I did the border and the bit at the bottom, similar, pinky iridescent. I love the contrast of the green and the purple, and I just had a lot of fun with this page. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And there's a little bit of crinkling, but it's not too bad. Certainly no bleed. So yeah, that was I think it was my third page in this book. Can't remember what I've done before. Oh yeah, I've done the world, the moon, and the Hanged Man is what I've done so far, I think. So yeah, had really good fun. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait to go back for more, actually. So that was Kawaii Tarot Colouring Book by Lulu Mayo. Then my final, goodness, I can't believe it's my final one. Just having a look to see if I have remembered everything. Oh no, I've got one more. So this is from Gnomes in the Neighbourhood, and I did this page. So I used Black Widow pencils. No, first of all, I believe. Now, here we go. I was looking at the wrong thing. So I based it all with Crayola Super Tips. Then I went over it with Arteza Expert pencils for a bit of shading. Derwent Inktense for the sky. There's some Stickles glitter glue also in the sky, which is giving you that glittery effect. And some Pentel Dual Hybrid. A lot of it's on the kind of camper van at the bottom. But I really like the way this turned out. I liked using the Crayola Super Tips. That made life easier. I kind of like matching the colours at the bottom here. It was a good fun page. A little bit of shadowing. That's the Inktense at the back, but maybe a little bit of bleed onto this page, but not much. So that was good fun. Again, that went for Gnomes all year long. So yeah, that was Gnomes in the Neighbourhood. And then my final one, just got to get up and get it. Can't go a month without doing a Rita Berman page. I got my summer Spatzia Gang out, my summer journey or summer walk, and I did this page. So I normally do, hang on a second, Arteza Expert pencils in here, some Posca to go around all of the fruits, black out the white, get rid of the black lines, and then there's a little bit of Pentel Dual Hybrid on some of the leaves. And there's a very, very soft kind of yellow background. But I like the different contrast of the leaves that I've got. I like the kind of varying colours I got for the cherries. I didn't know what these were. I didn't know if they were blueberries or something else. I didn't know what these were or these. My raspberries are maybe a little bit pink. But, whatever. But, yeah, so I really enjoyed that one as well. And that is all my pages for the month. So not as many as I normally do. I think there's around about 11 in there this month. But like I said, I had a busy June, but I hope to be back at it in July. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what your favourite one was for the month of June, and I'll see you all again. Bye.